A very good evening and welcome to State of Business, our television's primetime business news bulletin. I'm Maithripala. Let's take a look at the headlines first. President addresses judicial promotion issues at JCS meeting, and China to further strengthen relationship with Sri Lanka. Now the stories in detail. President Maithripala requested the Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission to find an acceptable solution to address the problems related to promoting judges. President Sirisena made this statement during the annual general meeting of Judicial Service Association, which was held in Colombo yesterday. Speaking further, President Sirisena advised the Judicial Service Commission to formulate a mechanism for promotions on the basis of merit, which should be acceptable to all those in the judiciary service, intellectual community and the people of the country. The President said that he accomplished his duty in promoting judges independently and impartially during the past 3 years. He added that he took initial steps to seek advice from the Judicial Service Commission regarding judges and sought the advice of the Attorney General when there were issues. Furthermore, the President requested the gathering to inform him through a written statement regarding the disciplinary violations that could result in the annulment of a promotion of a judge and added that the proposed mechanism could help to overcome such issues. Sri Lanka and China celebrated the 65th anniversary of the Rubberized Pact Agreement, which was signed between the two countries in 1952 in Colombo yesterday. The celebratory event was organized by the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in collaboration with the Sri Lanka-China Business Council of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce.
The event was attended by the Speaker of Parliament, Karu Jayasuriya, Chargé d'Affaires of the Embassy of the People's Republic of China, Pang Shunjue, and relatives of both Sri Lankan and Chinese ministers. Speaking at the event, Speaker Karu Jayasuriya highlighted the positive benefits that Sri Lanka has received as a result of signing the Rubberized Pact Agreement, which strengthened the relations between both countries. The Speaker also expressed gratitude to China for supporting Sri Lanka during a time when the country was facing a severe economic and agricultural crisis.
The Rubberized Agreement at that time, the first year, we saw the rice prices going up by 38% of the world. Compared to 52, in 53 went up by 38%. And rubber prices dropped by about 30%. And it was a good opportunity for China to have a dealing with us because Sri Lanka gave the first rubber tree to entire South Asia. The Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia all got their rubber seeds from Sri Lanka. Actually, we were the pioneers in rubber plantation at that time, although our production has dwindled to a great extent. So that time, I remember the first time, after the agreement, China paid rupees 1 and 7 cents per pound of rubber in 1953. 1 rupee and 7 cents per pound. And we bought... Now, world market price was 1 rupee and 7 cents for rubber, and China paid that 174. You can see the difference. That was for friendship, because well above the world market he paid us. When the world market was 1 rupee and 5 cents per pound, Chinese paid us 1 rupee and 74 cents for a pound of rubber. That is it's a great price, you know. And then similarly, we got our rice cheaper through them, well below the world market. And that is the reason why I said that it's not a commercial agreement, it is a treaty of friendship. I also recollect with gratitude that the Chinese gave us a loan of 120 million rupees at that time, 125 million, to develop our rubber industry, rubber plantation. 125 million was provided for us to improve our rubber plantation. So this business went on for a long time. But I must say also that I was also privileged to be part of that Rubberized Agreement.
Speaking further, Speaker of Parliament Karu Jayasuriya also stated that China was one of the largest development partners of Sri Lanka that has contributed towards Sri Lanka's development sector.
China has been instrumental in a lot of support to our country. This very building that we are occupying today was a result of Chinese gesture. They gave us 2 very valuable textile mills, the Wayangwada textile mill and the Pugoda textile mill, the largest textile mills available at the country. Then the Superior Courts complex. Then they have the Ginganga site. Then they did up the Abeg area. I'm talking about the development aid that we support in the past. But recently, of course, I don't have to talk anything about the massive infrastructure project that we received through Chinese aid, like the port, the airport, highways, and so many things, and the Lotus Tower, so many things. But that was a friendship that was sort of well appreciated by the people of Sri Lanka.
Meanwhile, speaking at the event, Chargé d'Affaires of the Chinese Embassy, Pang Jung-zui, highlighted important initiatives taken by China in order to develop the infrastructure facilities in Sri Lanka. Speaking further, Pang Jung-zui has stated that the relationship between both countries has been further strengthened and has stepped into a new phase under the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative.
During these 6 decades, the friendship between our two countries has grown very fast. And we do have very good relations between our two governments and our two peoples, and also the political parties of the two countries. I think the special and friendly feelings of the Chinese people towards the Sri Lankan people endures thousands of years and remains fresh nowadays. And the Chinese people will not forget the precious support that we get from the Sri Lankan people during our difficult times, like the earthquake in Wenchuan, in Sichuan province. And also, we always help Sri Lanka in the times of Sri Lankan need during our capacity. Our two countries has entered a new fast track under the guidance of the leaders of our two countries. The mutually beneficial cooperation between our two countries has achieved new developments and brought tangible benefits to our two peoples. Now, China has become the largest trading partner, the largest infrastructure construction partner of Sri Lanka. And also, we are one of the largest source countries of the investment, donation, and assistance to Sri Lanka. During these recent years, under the theme of the Belt and Road Initiative, we have a very good cooperation in economic fields. And the Port City project and the Hambantota comprehensive development projects are taken off together. These projects, I think, will further facilitating the development of China-Sri Lanka pragmatic cooperation.
Let's take a look at more news after this break. Welcome back. The Center for Monitoring Election Violence today launched the guidelines on election period violence against women. Speaking at the launch ceremony, Inspector General of Police Pujit Jasundara made the following remarks.
We are in the process of trying to get our best to first women OIC, officer in charge of Sri Lanka Police, to be appointed in the near future. So we are in very favorable because we have got a couple of selections. We have just wanted to get it proved and get the consent from the National Police Commission as well as the Election Commission at the moment, because now it's declared and everything has to be approved by the Election Commission. So in that way, that is one thing, the police matters are concerned. And then comes the election. As I clearly understood, and I listened to you all about the importance of why they are very reluctant to come forward and try their best to become representatives of the people, because they are in fear. And they must have thought, or they must be thinking, that they are not secured enough to go ahead with the process. It is not so, but we are concerned. Of course, now it has come to the level that authorities also have taken much interest, and that is, I think the policy makers as well as the deciding factors have decided to give the sufficient representation for the females in all forums. And then it's our duty, I think, it's being the main law enforcement agents in the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka Police. And it is our duty to clear and make the way for them to come forward. And if there's anything for them to finding it difficult, of course it is our duty to help them and to attend to their needs, and to for them to have a reasonable way and sufficient places or in all forums.
The third Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multisectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation ministerial meeting on poverty alleviation commenced in Colombo today. The two-day conference, with the participation of representatives from 7 BIMSTEC countries, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Myanmar, Nepal, Sri Lanka and Thailand, will primarily focus on the eradication of poverty within the BIMSTEC region. Speaking at the event, the Director General of the Bengal Initiative for Multisectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation, Shahidul Islam, stated that at present BIMSTEC member states have been able to achieve significant progress in reducing poverty.
In spite of unprecedented economic progress and technological advancement during the past decades, poverty is still a stark reality all over the world. The whole world has renewed its commitment to poverty alleviation by adopting the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, whose core objective is to end abject poverty by 2030. It is heartening to see that the Bay of Bengal region is not lagging behind in the global fight against poverty. There was a time when people believed that the existence of poverty is inevitable in certain areas of the world, and the Bay of Bengal region formed a part of poverty map. Things have changed for the better in the recent years, as all the BIMSTEC member states have achieved significant progress in reducing the number of population under poverty line. However, there still remain millions of people in our region who suffer from acute poverty. For this reason, BIMSTEC leaders have stressed the need for poverty alleviation since the creation of BIMSTEC.
Let's take a look at the stocks after this break. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped by 21.24 points to close at 6,325.46, and the S&P SL20 dropped by 30.31 points to close at 3,662.64. The turnover was 357.6 million rupees and 10.8 million shares were traded. Up next is Forex rates. With that, we are wrapping up State of Business for the day. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time with more latest news. Until then, take care. Good night.